and welcome to Best Kept Secrets. I'm your host, Lele Pons, and on today's episode, we have two brave women lined up to share their secrets with us. I won't tell you what exactly it is that they're going to say yet, but I will say that they're both about something that every woman listening will either have experienced already or we're definitely going to experience it at some point in your life. But that doesn't mean all you fellas listening should click off. You're about to learn about the real shit women go through and have to deal with all the time. And I think listening to this show is going to make you realize how stressful that can be, but also how totally normal it really is.
The following content contains adult subject matter, including sensitive material, and is intended for adult consumption only. It may not be suitable for all audiences. Therefore, discretion is advised. Lele Pons is not a trained expert, but is using her personal experiences and platform to create a space for sensitive discussions.
It all goes back to the first difference between boys and girls that we have all realized since we were kids. We have different parts down there, you know, and we go through different things like periods and stuff. And that doesn't seem like a big difference until puberty hits. And then your body starts to change and your hormones are surging. You're looking at boys differently, and then you get your first period. Periods, yes. There's another layer to this. We don't know when it's happening, when it's coming, and we have no idea whether it's going to be heavy or light, whether the cramps will be horrible, whether we'll have mood swings or get bloated or swelling. Sometimes it's even by skipping the pill one day, it comes the next day. You never know. And that happens to me a lot. Listen, the whole experience is less than comfortable for us. And then on top of all that, physically and emotionally, we have to worry about getting caught red-handed. Literally red-handed. Nobody wants to leave stains or clothes on couches. We don't want to do that. I know it's completely natural and that all women get it, but I still feel ashamed and like it's something I have to hide. There's societal shame around it, and I know it gives a lot of anxiety if I'm worrying about whether I'll bleed through my clothes or what my boyfriend is going to think. But he also said he knows it's normal. Thank God. He's like that. That's something I'm going to be talking to our first caller, Marissa, about, but even that's not the whole story for women. Eventually, as women get older, we stop having to worry about getting periods, but then the next phase of their lives start, which is menopause, hot flushes, and even losing control of your bladder. Jesus Christ. I don't want to get there. Our second caller, Josefa, will be talking to us about all of that. But first, let's give Marissa a call and find out the lengths she went to cover up her bloody stains on her boyfriend's bed sheets. Hi, Marissa.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Good. Are you ready to tell us your secret?
Yeah. I feel awful about it, but okay, so it was like around like the first few months, like my boyfriend and I started dating. And so he has a pug. It's a girl. And she's like, I would say about like 4 or 5 years old.
Okay.
And like I said, it was around the like first few months that we were dating. And then I had stayed over the night at his house, and we were like hanging out, like fooling around and stuff. And the next day, he has like really white sheets, like bed sheets. I don't know why. I feel like it's an awful choice, but so I got my period, and then I noticed that I had spotted on his sheets.
Let me tell you something that has happened to at least everybody, but at least once to everybody.
I mean, it's happened to me before, like at home, but I was like mortified. Like it was, oh my God. So I was like freaking out, and I was like running around, and like thankfully like he was still asleep, right? And like I was like running around, like trying to figure out what to do. And like this
put
pug,
chocolate
oh my God,
on top of it. Be like, oh, I just spilled chocolate.
Chocolate, just smudge it in there.
Yeah, that's what I did last time. So in like a couch.
Oh my God.
In front of like
family.
family.
Oh my God, on a couch?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like that's worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to like grab the couch, the under the couch, and grab it with me and take it off. So people were like, well, no, I guess either she peed
like,
or
where are you? They're like, where are you going?
Yeah, she peed or she pooped or she has period.
And you're like, it's chocolate. I got chocolate on the couch.
Yep.
So this dog, right? Like she started like barking, and like I was like, well, you know what? I was like, I'll fucking blame it on the dog. But I was like, well, the dog's right there, and she's kind of a pain in the butt. And I was like, you know what? I was like, so I like kind of stuck her in the bed, and then I just kind of pretended to go back to sleep. And then, you know, once he like finally woke up, I was like, kind of like making the bed, and then I was like, oh my God, like I think the dog like had her period like in the bed. he was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, so then, like, I don't know. I think she spotted on the bed, and, like, thankfully it wasn't, like, a huge, like, thing. So I felt like it was pretty believable.
He believed it?
He believed it. Yeah, he believed it. So, yeah, he was like, yeah, I guess that, like, totally makes sense, So now, like, he, like, puts diapers on her.
Aw. You should put, like, a little blood in it. Like, put, like, some red
like,
stuff.
like,
he won't notice
droplets.
if it's, like, paint. He won't notice if it's paint.
I was thinking that too, because it's been like a while now, and I was like, well, but I'm thinking that maybe like then he'll like be like, oh, well, it's not an issue anymore, because I feel a little bit bad because like now like we'll go to the dog park and stuff, and like she'll be wearing like a little diaper.
Aww. And how do you know the dog wasn't spayed?
That is a good question. Because they were trying to breed her. So, like, him and his family, like, they had, I know it's awful, but, like,
Okay.
him and his cousins and stuff, like, they all kind of had, like, a bunch of little pugs and stuff. And then they were planning on breeding them. So
do you feel bad about blaming the dog now?
I just feel bad because it's, like, I just kind of feel bad that she has to, like, wear diapers, And they're like, well, like, we don't want, like, I mean, but I think that's the other thing, too. I'm like, well, you don't want any other dogs, like, trying to, like, you want, like, the specific pug, with his cousin that he's, like, trying to get it to breed with, And I was like, so, it kind of works out.
Yeah. Have you considered telling him the truth? You should. It's not a big deal.
I've thought about it. It's been a little while now. So then I'm like, oh, my God. Like, I don't know. I think I might wait, like, a little bit longer once, like, because, like, I'm like, okay, if this is going to go on, then cool. Then, like, I'll let him know. But, like, if not, then I don't know.
How long have you been together?
It's been about 1.5 years.
Okay, wait 1 more year and then tell him.
I was thinking that too. I was like, well, we'll wait the 2-year mark and then maybe like another year or like another year.
Well, thank you so much for telling us that part. I hope you feel better, opening up and letting that out.
Yeah, I do. I actually do feel a little bit better now. I feel like, okay, well, maybe I will tell him and maybe I will like say something about it,
Everybody gets periods. Seriously, everybody. And
yeah.
Some guys actually have sex while the girl has a period, and that's,
That's true.
It's the truth.
That's a really good point.
So don't worry.
You're right.
It's not gonna break up with you for that, He's not.
I mean, if that's the deal breaker, then
wow,
it's not worth it, right?
You don't like girls then.
Right?
Yeah, maybe buy him dark sheets next time.
That's actually a good idea. I'll be like, here you go. Here's some dark sheets, and let me just tell you something.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So good luck.
Good idea.
Good luck. Let me know how it goes. Maybe next time when if anything happens, if he breaks up with you, blame it on me.
Oh my God. Yes, I'll tell you. Oh my God. It's your fault.
Yeah, my fault. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
We've gotten 100 stories about period and like, even for me, I've stained stuff before. That's many times. I think I did it 2 weeks ago, to be honest, in a photo shoot. I got my period in that photo shoot. I didn't know I was going to get it. And we had to change the dress. So seriously, don't worry about it. It's a normal thing. Now wear pads, don't forget that. But when you're sleeping, it happens. Let me tell you, it's something that's normal. And, guys I think they are trained to understand what the periods are, and a real man shouldn't care. And he should. And I think he is. I mean, he shouldn't care. And, please don't blame it on the dog. I decided to do this story because it was so silly her excuse. I thought that was pretty funny that she blamed it on the dog. So you're good. All right, guys, that's a lot of blood. We're going to take it from here. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to go with the menopause. All right, guys, are you ready for the menopause? Because I really am going to enjoy this one. I hope this doesn't happen to me. All right, next up is Josefa. Why are you here today, and what is your best kept secret?
Okay, I'm calling your podcast because I think it's wonderful to have a podcast. And I think I resonated with some of your stories about anxiety and I'm recently at a job where I was working with a bunch of kitchen chefs or so, like, they're artists, so they're temperamental and they're perfectionists. And nothing I did, like, to fit in with these women chefs would work. So I have a secret, though, because something happened and they don't know that it was me. And I'm happy about that because they're such annoying chefs. They're just annoying. So I'm over 50. I tried very much diligently to do the recipes the way these lady chefs wanted me to. And it was always just criticism. And even they criticized everything. Like, even if I went to the ladies' room, they were like, okay, so what's your deal? What's taking so long? Okay. So there was just nothing I could do to I'm not trying to please them, but to fit in with the team.
Yeah.
So one of those times when I was still new and my anxiety was pretty high, I was like, as I said, I'm over 50. So a lot of times, if I laugh too hard or whatever.
You pee a little.
Yeah. Okay. So
same here. I sneeze and I pee.
Oh, so I go to the ladies' room because after I'm trying to make the macaroni and cheese the way they want me to, trying to do the sandwiches the way they want me to. And I'm like, I'm just going to take a minute. Well, I changed my hygiene pad, but I forgot to peel the sticker off. And that day, peel the sticker off the pad. So that day I was wearing like some loose, wide leg pants. They were yelling at the bathroom door like, hey, what's taking you so long? What's taking you so long? What you're doing in there, Josefa? Like, what's your problem? So when I was leaving the bathroom, I just had this mental attitude of, you know what? Nothing they do today is going to bring me down. Nothing is going to disturb my confidence. I know I can cook. I know I can do chef things. And get to the kitchen counters, and there's like 6 women there. And of course, our main head chef, I call her Tyra because she's like a model. And so Tyra's like, and I want you ladies to do this, and I want you to do that. And Josefa, all of you, what are y'all doing? And so suddenly she screamed. Tyra screamed. She says, I can't have this in my kitchen. I can't have unsanitary things in my kitchen. And I had to remove from the spot that she was pointing at. I turned around and I nonchalantly just wanted to be part of the group and part of their disdain for everyone. So I just said, what is going on? Who would dare come into our kitchen and taint anything, bring in something unsanitary into this kitchen? And when I looked down what Tyra was pointing at, I was like, that's my pad.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, no, I'm not going to admit that. So I continued with the team, with the group, and like, how could someone do that? Do they not know how to take care of themselves? In this kitchen, we can't tolerate chefs like that. In 4 months, I would just walk with the highest head and say things like, yeah, whoever did that was like, that's just horrible. I don't know why we have to tolerate things like that. And I have kept that secret for over a year now.
Over a year? Okay, that's good. That's good. And you have never told anybody?
No way.
I mean, first of all, that's horrible that happened to you. I'm so sorry. And also, that chef is so rude. I'm sorry. Why do you work there if you don't like how they treat you?
Well, I don't work there anymore, but I don't want to quit things. I'm not a perfectionist. I just know I was doing a fine job, and it's difficult to find jobs when a person is over a certain age.
Of course, I get that.
I love being a chef it's a wonderful, fulfilling job. It doesn't pay a lot.
If you like it, that's what matters.
Yes, I liked it. I still to this day don't understand the disdain the other chefs had for me or anyone else that they didn't want there. I mean, it's a wonderful job. It's a job.
I get that it has to be sanitary in a kitchen, but it was clearly not on purpose, And it sucks that you work with all these women and they made you feel ashamed about your body. I'm sorry about that too.
That was really that was another level. I didn't expect that shaming to come into play. I was like, well, these are women, and I did play along, but I thought surely someone will say, you know what, we should all just chill and be empathetic, but no one did. No one ever did. So I'm still shocked at the shame that they wanted to lay out and we're all, I mean, we were all women there. We all are natural born women. So even though not everyone is over 50 there, they will get there. Someday they're going to get there.
Did they accuse you?
Not to my face. And I think I remember, because I was really in shock when it occurred. I was like super anxious. And I do remember the lady who, like, she grabbed a brown paper towel and just picked it up and threw it away with no, no emotion, no judgment in her face and her actions. She was sort of in the bed, but she never said.
Well, I probably would have done the same.
But I think she probably thought it was me. That's because she was probably one of the nicer chefs to me there.
Okay. Well, I probably would have done the same as you, and only because they were being so cruel about it,
Yeah, I really didn't know what else to do to mean people, because I know I've heard the saying all my life, kill them with kindness.
Yeah, and sometimes I hate that, but it's true. It is true at the end.
It's not effective for some reason. I don't know why. It's not effective.
Sometimes it doesn't really work.
So I have kept that secret, and because like my conscience wants to say, well, you should just, like, I saw Tyra recently at an event, and I wanted to say, hey, and we sat together and we had a snack together, and I wanted to say, hey, Tyra, remember that time? But I didn't. I was like, I'm not telling her.
No,
not because of shame, because
just don't,
just not to give them the satisfaction that I had made another mistake.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. Hopefully you are in a healthy work environment right now.
I think I am. I am starting a new opportunity. It's in a different environment. It's working with young people, and I think it's going to. The interview went super great, and they actually told me we'd love to have you. I was so glad to hear those words.
Oh, I love that. Well, thank you so much for talking to us and telling us your secret. Don't be ashamed of it. We all make mistakes. I've made many mistakes like that before. We're women, and you're in a certain age that's normal. So don't be ashamed of that. All right.
Well, thank you for that encouragement. Okay. Well, I'm glad I get to tell your podcast my secret.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Women have a lot of good characteristics, and we honestly, we rule the world, but we do have complications, like having our period, going through what she was going through. Menopause, everything. It's very normal, but we are ashamed sometimes of it. We're super embarrassed of it. Like when I have my period, I'm just like embarrassed. Like I'm just like, I don't want people to want to know about it. It's very intimate. Like I like, if I stain something, oh my God, I feel bad for like a day or the whole day. I'm like thinking about it. So it's completely normal what she was going through. I think that the girls were just being cruel and mean, and that they had probably nothing else to do but to be jealous of each other and to be mean and to make the day go by faster. It's a shame that all the girls couldn't come together to support each other, because this is something that we all go through. We're ashamed, but we should make each other feel better. And we shouldn't be ashamed of it, because it's normal. Every person, every girl goes through this. So don't act like it's something that you've never experienced. I want to thank these two beautiful, powerful women, Marissa and Josefa, for coming on the show today and talking about what they talked about. I hope lots of guys stuck around for this show, because I'm sure you'll have to learn a little bit about what women go through on a monthly basis. It's gonna happen. With Marissa, she didn't really give her boyfriend the opportunity to respond to the situation. She felt so embarrassed that she blamed her boyfriend's poor pug, just because the conversation felt too awkward to have. I can't say I wouldn't have done the same thing, but I didn't have a dog in the moment. So, for me, I just say the truth. I shouldn't be ashamed of it, but thank God my boyfriend is very understanding. So when it happened to me, he was like, Mommy, like, it's completely normal and stuff. And I was just like, I think the only way to destigmatize this natural process is to stop hiding it and treating it as something shameful. I will learn from that. I just learned this. Did you know that Scotland recently became the first country in the world to make period products like tampons, sanitary pads, and reusable free to whoever needs them? Not only is that super fucking cool, but I think it will do a lot towards breaking down the stigma or embarrassment that a lot of young girls feel around their periods. Buying period products every month is really expensive, so laws like that one allows women in poverty to take care of themselves. Marissa thought fast on her feet, and I can't fault her for wanting to hide it, but honestly, I don't think any woman should feel they have to be embarrassed about something that's totally normal and natural and a beautiful part of your body. Josefa's story actually pissed me off a little bit because girl-on-girl shaming is horrible. And yes, I know she was working in a kitchen where obviously it's important to keep things, clean and sanitary, but it's horrible for her manager to try and embarrass and shame the person responsible. I mean, clearly Josefa didn't feel comfortable saying it was her, and it sounds like she was working with a bunch of mean girls, and Josefa's desire to fit in definitely struck a chord with me. I think it's so horrible that those women who have so much more things in common than their differences didn't take the opportunity to support each other through a collective female experience. I mean, it's gross. Our first caller, Marissa, was worried about her boyfriend not being able to understand her period, but in Josefa's case, it was other women who made her feel like she's done something wrong, and I think that's so sad. Like Josefa said, she's dealing with completely natural changes to her body, so that's something all women are going to have to deal with at some point. So you don't say anything. It's something natural. You should be supporting each other, not spreading shame. But besides that, I just want to say, fellas, I'm really proud of you for sticking around for this week's show, and I hope you learned a lot. But my question of the week this episode is just for the ladies. Do you get embarrassed about your period? That's my question. I'm really interested to hear what you guys have to say, so let me know by voting on the poll on my Instagram at Lele Pons. That's our show. Thanks for listening. Support your sisters, and we'll be right back next Wednesday with more Best Kept Secrets.
If you or someone you know are struggling emotionally, text START to 741-741 for a confidential chat anytime.
Bum, bum.
Thanks for listening to Best Kept Secrets with me, Lele Pons, only on Spotify in partnerships with Shot Studios. The Shot Studios original team includes creators John Shahidi and Sam Shahidi, my lovely producer Belinda Mercer, and audio editor Stephen Colon. From Spotify Studios, executive producers Javier Pinol, Liz Gately, Gina Delvac, and Danny Treboj. And a special thanks to Dan Behar, Jessica Molina, Francisco Quijada, and Julio Pabon. I'm Lele. Follow me on Instagram at Lele Pons and check out my exclusive merch at lilshop.com. That is Lil Shop, Lil shop.com. Talk to you next week.